Kindly be seated, please. I'll ask the questions. Good afternoon, everyone. May I please request everyone to kindly be settled? Yeah. Thank you. With the permission of Her Ladyship, Madam, may we commence with the program. May I kindly request the Restricted Registrar General, Sir, to kindly to escort the Honorable Chief Justice, Madam, Honorable Justice H.S. Thank you, Honorable Justice B. Bhattacharjee, and the resource persons to dais, please. With Her Ladyship's permission, may we commence with the program. Honorable Justice Revati Mohiti Dere, Chief Justice, High Court of Meghalaya, and the Patron-in-Chief of the Meghalaya State Legal Service Authority, Honorable Justice H.S. Thank you, Judge, High Court of Meghalaya, and the Executive Chairman, Meghalaya State Legal Service Authority, Honorable Justice B. Bhattacharjee, the Judge, High Court of Meghalaya, the resource persons who are here, Registrar General and Member Secretary, Sir, the officers of the Registry, State Judicial Academy, and Meghalaya State Legal Service Authority, and all the staff, senior advocates, members of the bar, legal aid councils, law students, other dignitaries of the dais, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to all. Before we start with the program, may I kindly request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Kindly be seated. Once again, a very good afternoon to all. It is my singular privilege and pleasure to welcome everyone present here and those who are joining us virtually to this training and refreshers course for the legal aid lawyers, the LADC, and other stakeholders. We are here together for the, to this program dedicated to pursuing excellence in the field of law and strengthening one of the most important dimensions of our legal system, the pursuit of justice for those who otherwise might not be able to reach justice, which is beyond their reach. The true measure of democracy, it lies not merely in the rights it proclaims, but in the accessibility of those rights to its citizens. Legal aid represents the practical expression of that democratic process. It is the bridge that connects constitutional ideals with lived realities. To quote Honorable Justice U. Lalit, who is a former Chief Justice of India, free legal aid does not mean poor legal aid, emphasizing on quality over quantity. Therefore, it is imperative that the legal services that we provide is of good quality. Today's program has been thoughtfully conceived as an opportunity for reflection, for renewal, and professional enrichment. It is an era marked by evolving jurisprudence, emerging legal challenges, and changing societal realities. Continuous learning is not a luxury, but a necessity now. This refresher course seeks to equip the participants from various backgrounds with updated legal knowledge, sharpen your professional skills, and to foster a deeper understanding of the responsibilities that accompanies the privilege of serving in the legal profession. To formally commence the program, the proceedings, may I kindly request now that the NALSA theme song be played.
एहसास न्याय का सबके लिए, आकाश न्याय का सबके लिए, उल्लास न्याय का सबके लिए, विश्वास न्याय का सबके लिए। अपने इस हिंदुस्तान पर हक हमारा भी तो है, इंसाफ के इस आशिया पर हक हमारा भी तो है। एक मुट्ठी आसमां पर हक हमारा भी तो है, एक मुट्ठी आसमां पर हक हमारा भी तो है।
ये ना सोचो दर्द हमारा कहीं सुना न जाएगा, अब न्यायालय खुद चलकर चौपालों तक आएगा।
लाचारों को न्याय मिलेगा, दुखियारों को न्याय मिलेगा, कमजोरों को न्याय मिलेगा, मजलूमों को न्याय मिलेगा। अपने इस हिंदुस्तान पर हक हमारा भी तो है, उम्मीदों के इस गुलसितां पर हक हमारा भी तो है। एक मुट्ठी आसमां पर हक हमारा भी तो है, एक मुट्ठी आसमां पर हक हमारा भी तो है।
गरीब और कमजोरों को मुफ्त एवं सक्षम कानूनी सहायता के लिए प्रतिबद्ध विधिक सेवा प्राधिकरण नालसा, न्याय सबके लिए।
Thank you. Before we further proceed with the program for the day, we would like to take a moment to felicitate our dignitaries as a token of our love and appreciation. May I now request Aarti Kharbuki Madam to kindly felicitate Honorable Justice Revati Moti Dere, Chief Justice, High Court of Meghalaya and Patron-in-Chief of the Meghalaya State Legal Service Authority. May I now request Sandra Ranong Madam to kindly felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice H.S. Thank you, Judge, High Court of Meghalaya and the Executive Chairman of the Meghalaya State Legal Service Authority. Please. May I now request Regina Lingdaw, Madam, to kindly felicitate Honorable Justice B. Bhattacharjee, Judge, High Court of Meghalaya. While we move on to the resource persons, I may kindly be excused for only providing a brief introduction, considering the combined accomplishments. Elaborating would take up a considerable part of the day. May I now request Lau Kanjing, Madam, to kindly felicitate Shri Gajanan B. Chavan. Sir is an advocate with 44 years of standing in the legal profession, and as one of the resource person, he has come from Maharashtra to share his knowledge and wisdom with us. Sir is an accomplished lawyer, specializing in criminal matters with a plethora of cases under his belt, with various special acts, and also a celebrated author and speaker. May I also at the same time request officers of the registry to kindly felicitate Chavan, Madam. Now may I request Legia Marak, Madam, to kindly felicitate Shri Jayant B. Jayabhave, who is an advocate with 35 years of experience, and he is one of our resource persons for tomorrow. Sir is also an accomplished lawyer, having held various positions such as the chairman of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, among other positions. He has an expertise in a wide variety of civil matters, revenue matters, arbitration, and consumer matters. Sir is also an equally celebrated trainer, author, educator, and speaker. Sir is also an early adopter of technology in legal matters. May I also request the officers of the registry to kindly felicitate Jayabhave, Madam, please. Last but not the least, may I now request Jacqueline Kharmaki, Madam, to kindly felicitate Shri Shankar Solanke, an advocate with 28 years of experience from the renowned chambers of late Chandrakant Babar Desai, as who is one of our resource person here. Sir is an accomplished lawyer specializing in trial advocacy. He is a recipient of the prestigious award such as the iconic legal advisor for legal estate. Sir has expertise in a wide variety of cases, and like the other eminent personalities aforementioned, he is also a seasoned speaker, author, and educator. May I also request the officers of the registry to kindly felicitate Solanki, Madam, please. Thank you. May I now request Madam Kerpa M. Lingdaw Nongbri, the Director, Meghalaya State Judicial Academy, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
A very good afternoon. Honorable Justice Revati Mohiti Dere, Chief Justice, High Court of Meghalaya and Patron-in-Chief of the Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority and Meghalaya State Judicial Academy. Honorable Justice H.S. Thank you, Judge, High Court of Meghalaya, Executive Chairman, Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority and Judge in Charge, Meghalaya State Judicial Academy. Honorable Justice B. Bhattacharjee, Judge, High Court of Meghalaya, our esteemed resource persons and experts, Advocate Gajanan Chavan, Advocate J.D. Jayabhave, Advocate Rajan Shalunke, and your respected family members, judicial officers, senior advocates, members of the High Court Bar Association, Shillong Bar Association, Legal Aid Defense Councils, Legal Aid Councils, officers and staffs of the Registry, the Legal Services Authority, and the Meghalaya State Judicial Academy, students, and all of you present here today, both offline and online. On behalf of the High Court of Meghalaya, the Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority, and the Meghalaya State Judicial Academy, I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to the inaugural session of the Training and Refresher Course for the Legal Aid Defense Counsels and Legal Aid Counsels and other stakeholders. Article 14 of the Indian Constitution expresses that every person shall be treated equally before the law and also ensures equal protection of law to everyone, irrespective of religion, caste, race, sex, or place of birth. Under Article 22(1), whoever being arrested cannot be denied the right to consult and to be defended by a legal practitioner of their choice. Audi alteram partem, coined from a Latin phrase meaning listen to the other side or let the other side be heard as well, is the basic principle of law. Under this backdrop, the Legal Aid Defense Counsel system was conceived for providing qualitative and competent legal services in criminal matters to all eligible persons and to manage and implement legal aid system in a professional manner in criminal matters. Legal aid is characterized as such aid as might be given by the state which comes under the rules and regulations of the Legal Services Authorities Act 1987. Qualified legal assistance must be guaranteed at every critical step. Good quality legal aid must be ensured to make people have faith in the legal aid system. May it be mentioned that this training and refresher course, specially designed for the Legal Aid Defense Counsels, Legal Aid Counsels, and other stakeholders, has been organized under the initiative and able guidance of our Honorable Chief Justice, who steered this program forward. It is because of her ladyship's keen attention to every detail that we are able to have in our midst experienced, seasoned, and well-versed experts from the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa. We are happy to highlight that this inaugural session is being live streamed for those unable to attend in person and for wider coverage and participation. We are happy to also mention that the technical sessions scheduled tomorrow, the 20th June 2026, will also be joined by participants from the other districts of the state, remotely but actively. Briefly, the areas to be covered by our experts are preparation for criminal trials, defense strategies, art of cross-examination, the Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam and the Indian Evidence Act, available defenses under the law, trial advocacy skills, examination of accused, role of a trial judge, and judicial participation during trial proceedings. On behalf of the High Court of Meghalaya, the Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority, and the Meghalaya State Judicial Academy, I take this opportunity to encourage maximum participation and interaction, as we are certain that the sessions will be enriching and the participants will absorb, learn, and apply to their work. Once again, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome each one of you today to the inaugural session of the Training and Refresher Course for the Legal Aid Defense Counsels and Legal Aid Counsels and other stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for the warm welcome. It is now my privilege to welcome Honorable Justice H.S. Thank you, Judge High Court of Meghalaya, and the Executive Chairman, Meghalaya State Legal Service Authority, and the Judge in charge of the Judicial Academy to kindly address the organized gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Chief Justice, Justice Revati Moiti Dere, my brother, Judge Justice B. Bharat, the Registrar General, Member Secretary, the other officers of registry, State Judicial Academy, senior advocates, members of the Bar, the Legal Aid Defense Counsels, Legal Aid Counsels, law students, young lawyers, the resource persons today, Sri Gajanan B. Chavan, Jayan B. Jaibave, and Sri Shankar Salunke, other dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon again. Now, firstly, as the Executive Chairman of the Legal Services Authority of the state, and also a judge in charge of the Meghalaya Judicial Academy, it's both a privilege and a responsibility for me to address this gathering today on a subject that lies at the heart of every civilized democracy. The principle of legal aid, free legal aid. And it is a concept which I know you're all aware. It is a commitment to what is fair, equal, and the rule of law. We are very fortunate indeed to have very eminent resource persons who will be conducting the technical sessions. And I would like to say here at the outset that this program being facilitated due to the effort and hard work of our Chief Justice, who had always in our conversations had also always remarked that the bar in Shillong is very young. And the number of young lawyers, all of them with bright shining eyes, coming to court. And there is a lack of seniors. There's a lack of mentorship also, because you all know exactly the output from our colleges now, the people entering the profession. So she felt that, it is incumbent upon the judiciary and us judges also to see that some programs such as these to train you all in advocacy skills or in other skills so that you will be not only well-versed, but the foundation be created and your interests be sort of ignited. Because this profession is a noble profession and it has a lot of scope for everyone to improve always. Everyone learns all the time and the learning curve continues even like for people like us who are the fag end of the legal scene now. Now, coming back to what free legal aid is all about. Free legal aid would generally mean legal assistance, counsel, and representation to those who lack the financial means or are structurally or encumbered to secure such services for themselves. So the philosophy behind this endeavor is very simple. It's just that justice must never become the exclusive purview of only those who can access it on their own or the affluent. So for the rule of law or for the, you can say justice to retain legitimacy, the faith of the public also must remain. Now across the world, legal aid serves as a lifeline for the vulnerable, the marginalized, the generally categorized under those broad heads. And it comes to economic disadvantage and certain sections, women, children, senior citizens, persons with disabilities, so on and so forth. And though legal advice assists in navigating the judicial procedure, free legal aid transforms these rights, abstract rights that people have, which they cannot access, into tangible realities. Otherwise, there is that gap. And that gap has to be filled for those people who cannot have access to justice. And that is where free legal aid and with the advent of the legal services, as I might just digress to say that the journey of free legal aid in India, is gradual, but it is an unquestionable determination to democratize access to justice. Initially, it was just a tentative state-sponsored experiments were carried out in the 50s, which ultimately matured into a constitutionally enshrined under the stewardship of jurists like Justice P.N. Bhagwati and Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer. Then this movement culminated in the enactment of the Legal Service Authorities Act 1987, and thereafter the establishment of the National Legal Service Authority. That means that transformed the idea of equal justice from an aspiration only into an institutional reality. So that's the journey we have come through, with regard to legal aid. And I would like to say that India has one of the most robust systems of legal aid delivery in the world. Because as you see, now legal aid defense counsels, there's provisions made for them. They're given the facilities that they can effectively and represent those people who are marginalized. Now, that is why I personally also feel extremely happy to see such a large attendance of the legal aid defense counsels, the lawyers, and everyone who are here today. Now, coming to the what is advocacy and success and in trials. Now, the success of a criminal trial doesn't rest upon theatrical flourish or rhetoric, but it depends a lot on meticulous preparation, judicious, and also it depends a lot on neutrality of the judiciary. So every stage of the process, from the construction of a defense to the deployment advocacy and art of cross-examination. Now, these are the things which you will be instructed about. And you might, and I implore upon you that, they have come with a lot of skills. And so, you learn from them. That's the thing. So, like preparation for lawyers is the bedrock. And in any case, and more so in a criminal matter, because every successful criminal defense depends a lot on rigorous preparation. Even the most eloquent advocate, if he is not prepared, he'll find his own arguments collapsing, because he will not foresee the facts that might confront him, the challenges in the course of the trial. So equally vital is the thorough engagement with the law itself. So understanding the statutory provisions, judicial precedents, the evolving legal doctrines. Now it furnishes you lawyers also with the intellectual architecture necessary to challenge this, in trials. So much was crafting the defense strategy. So no trial is won by improvisation. Defense strategy, everything, when you prepare a matter, it has to be calibrated. You have to determine a strategy, how the proceedings can be shaped, and so on and so forth. And coming again to the other part, cross-examination. So that cross-examination is not really, it's very sophisticated, I would say, because cross-examination is like a constructive dialogue through which facts which are favorable to the defense are taken out. So these are the things which I know that you will be instructed upon in the session tomorrow. Now coming to advocacy skills. So advocacy also is a mechanism which abstract legal principles can be translated into persuasive, you can say, arguments or narratives. And beyond legal argumentation also lies the skill of an advocate to weave, what you say, a very compelling narrative. So, but I must impress here that ethical advocacy, robust and ethical advocacy, that will sustain public confidence in administrative justice. It reassures society that verdicts not reached through arbitrary power, but through transparent processes. And also, despite its immense importance, the awareness of legal aid remains inadequate till now. Just adding this before I conclude. So it is incumbent upon all of you here also, even though you might not be part of the legal aid mechanism or the institution, to instruct people also in your conversations with the public with the availability of free legal aid, the existence of institutions that can assist them, the existence of legal professionals who can impart, who can, give free legal aid. So, with these few words, I will wish all of you all the best, and I'm sure to all of those who attend this program, you'll have very valuable takeaways to, to equip you and to empower you, I would say, to become better advocates and work steadfastly towards the cause of justice. Thank you. Kublai. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Lordship, for the wonderful introduction and your Lordship's gracious and insightful remarks. It is equally my privilege now to welcome Honorable Justice Revati Mohiti Dere, Chief Justice, High Court of Meghalaya, and Patron-in-Chief of the Meghalaya State Legal Service Authority to kindly deliver the keynote address.
Honorable Justice, thank you. Judge High Court of Meghalaya and Executive Chairman, Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority. My other colleague, Justice Bhattacharjee, Judge High Court of Meghalaya. Shri Gajanan Savan, Shri Jayant Jaybhave, Shri Rajan Sarunke are eminent resource persons for tomorrow's workshop. Mr. Kharum Nuid, Registrar General. Ms. Kerpa Nongbri, Director of the Maharashtra State Judicial Academy, judicial officers present here physically and those who are there online, members of the registry, senior advocates, members of the High Court Bar Association and Shillong Bar Association, Legal Aid Defense Counsels, panel counsels, Mrs. Chavan, Mrs. Jaybhave, Mrs. Sarunke, all young lawyers present here today and on VC, legal research assistants and students of NLU who have again joined us on VC, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very good afternoon to all of you. As the Patron-in-Chief of the Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority and Meghalaya Judicial Academy, it gives me immense pleasure to be here today for the inaugural function of the training and refresher course for the Legal Aid Defense Counsels and other stakeholders in the state of Meghalaya. A warm and heartfelt welcome to everyone present here and who is there on VC. Your presence this afternoon reflects your commitment not just to the profession, but to justice itself. Your presence here today is a powerful affirmation and reaffirmation of your unwavering belief in the transformative potential of legal aid and in the indispensable role each one of us plays in protecting rights, upholding dignity, and strengthening the rule of law. I often remind myself of the powerful words of Justice Learned Hand. He was an American jurist and a judicial philosopher. He said, and I quote, "If we are to keep our democracy, there must be one commandment. That is, thou shalt not ration justice." Legal aid works on this very belief that justice must not be rationed. It must be accessible, affordable, and meaningful to every person, especially to those who have no one to stand beside them. The role of a legal aid defense counsel is not an easy one. In fact, it is one of the most demanding and essential roles within the legal services framework. You carry on your shoulders the hopes and anxieties of people who may be voiceless, powerless, and overlooked. You meet individuals who come from humble backgrounds, who do not understand the language of law, the procedures of the court, or even for that matter, their own rights. Many of them come face to face with the justice delivery system for the first time at the lowest point in their lives. In those moments, You become their strength, their guide, and often their only bridge to justice. Let me share one small story with you which has stayed with me in many years. A young lawyer, legal aid lawyer, took up a legal aid case. It involved a daily wage laborer. What was the offense that he had committed? The offense was of theft. According to him, he was falsely implicated in the case. The legal aid lawyer so appointed was not so experienced. You can say he was inexperienced, he was nervous, and was uncertain of his own abilities. But he prepared the case with utmost sincerity, met the laborers' families regularly, even met the offender in jail, examined every document, scrutinized every paper, and appeared before the court with quiet confidence. After months of hearing, the laborer was acquitted of the offense with which he was charged. When he walked out of the courtroom, he folded his hands and looked at the lawyer and said, "You have given me my life back." Years later, the lawyer was handling far more complex and high-profile cases. But what still stayed with him was that one moment, that one sentence, which was the turning point in his life when he truly understood what it means to become a lawyer. That, my friends, you must try and achieve. This is the power, privilege, and purpose of legal aid. The work you may do may not always bring you accolades. It may not make headlines, but it brings something far more greater in life, which is immense satisfaction that you have helped restore dignity of an individual. And I think there can be no greater satisfaction than that. As defense counsels, you also uphold one of the foundational principles of criminal law. Let 1,000 guilty go free, but not one innocent be punished. This very principle is the bedrock of our justice delivery system. It reminds us that an innocent life or liberty must never be sacrificed, whatever may be the urgency. In the pressures of work, particularly of judges, the court work, piled up case files, incomplete investigation, delay in getting forensic reports, or the emotional weight of human suffering, it is always easy for a lawyer to feel overwhelmed. But it is precisely these moments that your role becomes even more crucial. You stand as the last safeguard for the rights of the accused, ensuring that the accused receives a fair trial, competent representation, and the full protection of law. Another incident which I should tell you all is there was another advocate who had spent quite a few years doing legal aid work. He once represented a young man who was accused of a serious offense. According to the young man, he was innocent, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. The legal aid lawyer, with great and utmost sincerity, read the brief not once, but twice and thrice. He read every paper, every document with utmost sincerity. He met the family of the accused, went to the spot, saw the site where the incident had happened, whether the witnesses could have witnessed the incident. He therefore prepared his case thoroughly, and in the process, he went on to find something which went to the root of the matter, on the basis of which he succeeded in that matter, only based because he studied with sincerity and hard work. This loophole that he found led to the man's acquittal. Of course, post-acquittal, the young man got a job, and he wrote a letter to the advocate who appeared for him. He said, "Thank you for believing in me even when I had stopped believing in myself." These kind of stories remind us that legal aid is not just about law, but it is about faith. Faith in justice, faith in fairness, and faith in humanity. In today's world, the challenges faced by defense counsels are many. Delay in getting forensic reports, investigation, lack of resources, shortage of time, and mental and emotional strain of dealing with human tragedy. Yet every challenge also presents an opportunity to improve our skills, learn and upgrade techniques of cross-examination, understand advances in forensic sciences, sharpen our research abilities, and broaden our understanding of criminal jurisprudence. This one-day course, which is scheduled tomorrow, is designed precisely with this in mind: to reflect, refresh, and to refine. I must tell you how this idea was conceived. I'm sitting in division bench with my colleague Justice Dingdo. Apart from PILs, appeals, we are also taking up criminal appeals. Whilst going through the evidence in criminal appeals, in the cross-examination particularly conducted by state LADCs, I have seen that questions which ought not to have been asked have been asked, which ought to have been asked by the prosecution have been brought by the defense lawyer in the cross-examination. No denials, no foundation laid, no suggestions, not even omissions, contradictions taken on record. Sometimes even the eyewitness has not been cross-examined by the learned defense counsel, as a result of which we are sometimes even constrained to remit the matter back for conducting fresh cross-examination. So that was the reason why I thought it was important that we have this course. All of you must remember that cross-examination is not simple. It is an art which comes with years of experience. Sometimes what not to ask is more important than what to ask. And sometimes it's very important to know when to stop. I'm sure you have all very learned resource persons who will go into all the details and nitty-gritties of the same. The fault does not lie in you. I have seen bright young faces everywhere that I have gone to all the districts. They are mostly, I would say more than 90% are young lawyers, hardly any seniors to guide them, with whom they can, sort of learn the skills of advocacy. And therefore, there is no exposure to these young, talented young lawyers. You are left fending for yourself. So the minute you pass out from college, you decide to practice and you take up the case. But you must remember that how you conduct the trial will determine the future of the case in the High Court and also in the Supreme Court. And if the case is not properly conducted, there is nothing that the best of lawyer can do either in the High Court or the Supreme Court. So how important your role is as trial court lawyers, you all must understand. It is important for you to understand how you're supposed to prepare a case, how much effort should go in preparing the case, visiting the spot, which I don't think happens these days. Remember, the efforts that you take will have a bearing on somebody's life. So the responsibility is huge. One day's adjournment, which may seem so casual for you, made in even either in the appeal or in hearing a bail application, will result in the accused being incarcerated in jail for a longer period. If the person incarcerated is a daily wage laborer, his family is going to suffer, who is going to sleep without food for the next few days. So this is the kind of responsibility that you have on your shoulders. This training and refresher course has been specially curated by Malsa and the Judicial Academy to ensure that you learn from some of the finest minds in the legal fields, in this legal field, and experts in trial court advocacy. Mr. Gajanan Chavan, Shri Jayant Jaybhave, and Mr. Sarunke have spent years navigating the complexities of the justice system. We are honored to have them. And thank you so much for accepting our invite and coming here to Shillong and spending your valuable time with us and with all the young lawyers, future lawyers of Shillong. I urge each one of you to participate actively, ask questions, share your experiences, and take back insights that will help you in your courtrooms. I also hope through the sessions planned tomorrow on trial preparation and defense strategies, the art of cross-examination, especially in navigating omissions and contradictions, in understanding the importance of 313, you will gain new insights which will enhance your role as defense counsel with greater trial advocacy skills. Just talking about the importance of 313, I must share one experience. In one of the appeals, throughout the evidence, of course, there was no suggestion, but the suggestion, whatever questions were put, showed that they accepted the presence of the accused at the scene of offense at the time of the incident. But in the 313, the defense taken is of alibi, without any foundation being laid for the case. So that is that even 313 is how important, Mr. Jaybhave will tell you. The questions that are asked, it's not just left to the accused. What you must sort of, how it has to be consistent with the suggestions or your case will be also told to you tomorrow. I am confident that even the trial court judges and all stakeholders will largely benefit from this training course. I am confident that the sessions judges will be equipped to conduct the case fairly, effectively, and the trials will be well-prepared trials. Ultimately, strengthening defense practice is not merely about improving trial techniques. It is about safeguarding due process, protecting constitutional rights, and upholding the soul of justice. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "The true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable members." A legal aid defense counsel plays a vital role in shaping this measure. You stand with the vulnerable, the marginalized, and the unnoticed. You ensure that our justice system does not become the privilege for the few, but remains a right for one and all. I am confident that the one-day session will leave each one of you with renewed energy, stronger conviction, and deeper confidence. Let us remind ourselves that legal aid is not charity. It is a constitutional duty. It is not merely a profession. It is a service. It is through your dedication that the promise of Article 39A of the Constitution, which is equal justice and free legal aid, comes alive every day in our courts. I wish each one of you an enriching and meaningful training ahead tomorrow. May these sessions strengthen your skills, reinforce your commitment, and inspire you to continue serving the society with integrity, empathy, and courage. Thank you.
Thank you, leadership, for that inspiring address and setting the tone for the program. We are grateful for the words of encouragement and also the eloquent address, reminding us that access to justice is not merely a legal objective, but a moral imperative. This will undoubtedly illuminate the discussions that lie ahead in the training sessions. May I now request Madam Angeline Pariat, Registrar, Judicial Service, High Court of Meghalaya, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Her Ladyship, Honorable Justice Revati Mohiti Dere, Chief Justice, High Court of Meghalaya. Honorable Mr. Justice H.S. Thank you, Judge, High Court of Meghalaya. Honorable Mr. Justice B. Bhattacharjee, Judge, High Court of Meghalaya. Judicial officers, distinguished resource persons, learned members of the High Court Bar Association and Shillong Bar Association, and all esteemed participants joining us physically as well as virtually. Good afternoon. At the outset, I respectfully acknowledge the presence of Her Ladyship and their Lordships and all distinguished participants and express my gratitude for the honor and privilege of addressing this august gathering. As we come to the close of this inaugural session, it is my profound and proud privilege and pleasant duty to propose the vote of thanks. At the very outset, I offer our deepest gratitude and sincere appreciation to Her Ladyship, Honorable Justice Revati Mohiti Dere, for graciously inaugurating this program and delivering the keynote address. Your Ladyship's inspiring words, profound insights, and unwavering commitment to ensuring meaningful access to justice have set the perfect tone for this training and refresher course. Under your Ladyship's able leadership, several initiatives aim at strengthening the administration of justice and enhancing the quality of legal services in the state have been further strengthened. The present program, bringing together distinguished members of the bar and other stakeholders, reflects your Ladyship's steadfast support for fostering professional excellence and upholding the highest traditions of advocacy. As Patron-in-Chief of the Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority and the Meghalaya State Judicial Academy, your Ladyship's constant guidance and encouragement continue to inspire these institutions in the endeavor to promote access to justice and capacity building. We are truly honored by your Ladyship's presence and deeply grateful for your Ladyship's unwavering support and guidance. I convey my heartfelt thanks to Honorable Mr. Justice H.S. Thank you, Judge, High Court of Meghalaya, and Executive Chairman, Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority, for his enlightening address and for his continued efforts in strengthening the legal services delivery system in the state. I also respectfully acknowledge and express our sincere gratitude to Honorable Mr. Justice B. Bhattacharjee, Judge of the High Court of Meghalaya, for gracing this occasion with his Lordship's esteemed presence. I place on record our sincere gratitude to the distinguished resource persons and senior advocates from the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Advocate Shri Gajanan Chavan and Mrs. Chavan, Advocate Jayanti Jai Bhave and Mrs. Jai Bhave, and Advocate Rajan Salunkhe and Mrs. Salunkhe, who have graciously accepted our invitation and traveled to Meghalaya to share their rich experience and expertise with the participants. Their invaluable contribution to this training and refresher course will undoubtedly enrich the knowledge and skills of all participants and strengthen the quality of advocacy and legal aid services in the state. We are deeply honored by their presence and thankful for the generosity with which they have shared their time and experience with us. I also take this opportunity to thank the High Court of Meghalaya, the Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority, and the Meghalaya State Judicial Academy for their collaborative efforts in organizing this training and refresher course, which reflects our collective commitment towards strengthening legal aid and promoting access to justice. I place on record our sincere appreciation to Registrar General, the Director of the Meghalaya State Judicial Academy, the other registrars, officers, and members of the Registry of the High Court of Meghalaya, as well as the officers and staffs of the Meghalaya State Legal Services Authority and the Meghalaya State Judicial Academy, whose dedication, meticulous planning, and tireless effort behind the scenes have ensured the smooth and successful conduct of this program. Our sincere thanks are due to the judicial officers from all the districts of Meghalaya who are participating both physically and virtually. Their dedication and commitment towards the administration of justice and their enthusiastic participation in this program are deeply appreciated. I also place on record our sincere appreciation to the distinguished senior advocates, members of the High Court Bar Association and Shillong Bar Association, Legal Aid Defense Council, Legal Aid Councils, and panel lawyers for their gracious presence and participation in this program. Their continued commitment to upholding the highest traditions of the legal profession and the support towards initiative aimed at promoting professional excellence and enhancing access to justice are deeply valued and appreciated. I would also like to acknowledge and thank the legal research assistants, the interns, and the students of the National University Meghalaya, whose enthusiastic participation gives us great confidence in the future of the legal profession and the continued pursuit of justice. Before I conclude, I once again express our profound gratitude to Her Ladyship, Honorable the Chief Justice, for gracing this occasion with her august presence and for her invaluable guidance and steadfast support towards initiatives aimed at the strengthening of administration of justice, promoting professional excellence, and enhancing access to justice in the state. With these words, I thank all the distinguished guests, participants, and members of the audience for their presence and contribution to the success of this inaugural address. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for the vote of thanks. As we are coming towards the end of the inaugural session, may I now request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
May I now request the respected Registrar General to kindly lead the dignitaries of the dais for a group photograph. I request everyone, all the participants, to kindly be at your place.